Is this is that mic live now?
Or, yeah, that one should be.
Can I have your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen? Hello. Good evening. Thank you. The meeting is just about to start at 5 o'clock. I'd like to invite you to take your seats now, and then the council will be piped in to the top table here, and we'll get on with the meeting probably in the next 5 minutes. It's going to be streamed live, by the way, so everybody on their best behaviour. Thank you.
It's supposed to be live already, but I'm not seeing any video. Cheers. Sorry. Just press that down. Hold it down until it goes off. Yeah, I'm just coming. The video doesn't seem to.
Go and buy things, did you?
Thank you, Cindy. She was, wasn't she? Do you have a seat? Well, welcome to all of you. Great to have you all here. And just before we start this evening's meeting, if we can just have any apologies.
Rupert Shaw and Shelby Ellis. William Shaw from the USA. And Ruth Davidson.
Any others? Clooney.
Richard McBean of McBean.
Chris and Margaret Gillis.
Okay. I think this one I'll say will be in there. Okay, thank you very much. No other apologies? Thank you. The obituaries, item number 2, I'll actually be addressing in my report, so I'll maybe leave it until then. And just before we start the meeting, you all have on your chairs the minutes of the previous meeting. So if we can just have a quick look through and verify that these are approved. If we flick through from onto the first page. Thank you. Turn over to the second page. The third page. And the fourth page. Is there anything else about the minutes that anyone wants to note? Okay, thanks for the note about Macpherson. In that case, can I have a proposer and seconder for the minutes? Denise. Seconder. Jamie. All right. So, as is usual, Vice Presidents, Chairman, Council members and friends of the Clanhatton Association, a very warm welcome to you all to this, our AGM and dinner for 2026. Always a great pleasure to welcome you all here. We're happy to be back here again in the Kingsmills that has proven to be most welcoming to us and suits our needs here in the heart of Inverness. And we're very grateful to all of the staff here for making this such a good venue for us to enjoy. This year, as often, we're glad to be amongst familiar faces, few new ones, few old ones. In particular, we're happy to be with Katrina Foster from Victoria, Australia, who's with us with Sandy Cameron. Katrina and Sandy? Welcome. And I'm told that you run the local Hills and Heather Facebook page. Keeping in touch with members of Shores and McGillivrays. Also a welcome to James McGillivray. James, the Clan McGillivray Commissioner for the Netherlands. Very glad to have you here this evening. Christopher Schultz. Welcome. I'm told that you were the former mayor of Leonardville in Kansas. I'll resist the temptation. I was brought up on the Wizard of Oz, so I won't say that we're not in Kansas anymore. But I did have a quick look the last few days at Leonardville, and I liked the sense of community that was there. And so I hope, growing up obviously in a small community at Moy and within this community, I hope you'll enjoy our community too. And also welcome back to Glenn Cook of Kingley, who has served us many years on council, but he's been overseas for the past couple of years, was it, in South Africa doing mission work. So very glad to have you back here again. And also to Eric and Carol McBain, who have come over from Australia. So it's so many of you here, but it's always nice to have a variety of people, different people coming from all the corners of the globe. At this time, of course, we do fondly remember those members who we have sadly lost since the last time we met. This year, we do remember Lieutenant Colonel John McPherson from Australia, Rosemary Young from England, and Donald McIntosh from the United States. We also particularly remember Lady Jean McPherson of Beerlid, a very good friend to us and long-standing member of our association. Many of us will remember her alongside her husband, Sir Tommy McPherson. They were definitely, a very imposing, a great couple, and very sure of what they wanted, and often they'd make sure that they told you what they wanted. Lady Jean's presence, I think everyone would agree, could really fill any room, and she would bring with her her immense spirit and energy, but also much kindness. I do remember as a small boy being taken quite nervously to splendid parties that they put on at Ballyville, where the people, sometimes you'd see people you'd seen on the news in these in their parties, which was very interesting for a small boy, but vast numbers of people. I think I've barely been to bigger parties than those. And at her funeral earlier this year, we heard many of the stories about her energy and how even as she grew older, she was still very determined to continue playing her part. She also, her family, we have been very lucky that they have been great friends to our family and over the years. And indeed, she always showed great friendship to my mother. Often since my father died, she would visit her at Moy, sometimes would stay, and invited my mother to many events which were great at keeping my mother's spirits up. And even after my mother moved in the last couple of years to the old Mealmore Lodge, just down the road from Moy, Lady Jean would take the trouble to be driven down so that she could go and spend time with my mother. And I do know that on one occasion, those three great ladies, Lady Jean, my mother, and Sonia Cameron Jack, who we remembered last year, all gathered together, and they must have had, I'm sure they had a great time together. And Lady Jean's kindness, she showed great kindness even when my daughter was born and my mother came over to Singapore to see her. Lady Jean made sure that she passed my mother a lovely little red dress, which I think was probably the first dress that Kyla got, which she loved. And so we will greatly miss her presence, her warm heart, and of course her as a great clanswoman. And our thoughts are very much with Angus, Ishbel, and Duncan. Angus, of course, who will be with us later on, and all their families. But there is perhaps one absence that we particularly feel this evening that leaves a very noticeable gap. Our fellow clansman, and dearest friend, Rex Davidson. Just in the last couple of months, sadly, he passed away after having had a lengthy illness. He always seemed to have been around, Rex. I can sort of always remember him coming to Moy, and he was very much a part of the association, a part of our wider family. I did look up in the back issues of the journal, and I don't know exactly, sadly, I don't know enough about Rex. I wish I'd known more, and I probably should talk to Donald and Denise. I think they'll know absolutely heaps. I think that, Donald, your mother was quite instrumental in bringing Rex in. But certainly by the early 1980s, Rex was very much a fixture on council, starting off as the Canadian corresponding secretary. And his contributions continued relentlessly. And very much Clanhatton contributions. A quick scan through some of his early contributions to the journal show the depth of his interest and knowledge of our wider clan. Alexander McGillivray and the Youth's Companion. Captain Alexander McIntosh's trading schooner, the Nancy. William Davidson, Pioneer, and Miramichi. Fort McPherson in the Northwestern Territory. Rex always had a desire to understand and tell the story of our Clanhatton, how the different clans that make up our confederacy, how they came about and the contributions they made, fighting alongside one another most of the time, and how the diaspora spread and settled, taking roots in the New World, establishing far-flung settlements and spreading their influence. Often, as some of the examples I said from the journals would take Canadian themes, but Rex very much had a keen interest in our broader history. His knowledge perhaps surpassed most of us in this room. A very sharp understanding of our roots, a willingness to fill in gaps when required. When difficult questions arose, I think Rex would usually be the first person that many years ago we'd write a letter to see what he thought, and we'd get a reply back. He actually used to talk to me about that. He said, actually, the good thing about letter writing was it gave you time to think. As soon as he had email, he would say, people expect a reply tomorrow. But he was always the one we would inevitably turn to point those with trickier queries in the right direction. And when the question became a little too difficult or veered in directions that perhaps Clanhatton didn't agree with, Rex would always point them in the right direction, always politely, but definitely firmly. That desire to expand our historical understanding and to see the union of this unique confederation of clans thrive was what brought me with Vanessa and Kyla to the stone at Termit, where so many of us gathered in 2009 to commemorate and reaffirm the Band of Union from 1609, a project in which Rex had such a guiding hand. I was saying at the council meeting just a couple of weeks ago how from the photos of that day, one of my favourites was of myself and Rex standing on the steps at the back of Eden Court, the old Bishop's Palace, and Rex very much looking the part, standing there proudly, his distinctive look, which we all know. And so for the three of us to go in the week after he died, it seemed that that symbolic place, which symbolizes the strength of our union, and to lay some flowers there in his memory seemed the most appropriate place for us to be and to remember him at that moment. He was always keen that those ancient traditions should be reinvigorated to bring them forward to modern times, our traditions upheld over the ages. The first words which I always liked to say to Rex when he came back every year, either on the phone when he was staying wherever he was, or when I met him here, was always welcome home. Because I know to Rex, he always felt very much home here amongst us. And we, of course, equally loved having him with us. A most respectful clan member. He would always sit, he would listen to everything that was said, considerate, often add words of his own, but always playing a part. And so I can picture him sitting amongst us, and I wish he was with us, with Ruth tonight. But after all that has been said, it is of course his personal touch which we will miss the most. The support and thoughtful advice that he gave to so many of us, and which he always generously gave to myself and my family. Sometimes agreeing, sometimes challenging, but always well meant and thoughtfully considered. And latterly he became a good friend to Kyla, always greeting her with a friendly fist pump, which she enjoyed giving back to him. Last year we enjoyed a lovely picnic down at Palochig, one of the beautiful spots down at the edge of the Moy estate. And it was lovely just to spend time with Rex and be able to just talk to him. Of course, we spoke a little bit about the clan, but of course we spoke about other things, bringing up Kyla, cigarettes. He asked me if I ever smoked. Clove cigarettes from Indonesia, if you must know. Incredibly cheap, very sweet, and a great way to strike up any conversation with anyone in that archipelago. Exploration. He always seemed to have a story of how he had gone somewhere, he'd had to climb over some fence to find the stone he was looking for, the old settlements, the rocks which signified there was some settlement there. He always seemed to be so full of enthusiasm and life. And of course, he was always talking about how he was looking forward to a splendid dinner which Ruth would have made for him, almost certainly containing some of the local chanterelles that she'd managed to find. My youthful impression of Rex was I always thought of him with his distinct good looks, his fair long hair and beard. I always thought of him as the wise old Shenachie, a storyteller, a keeper and recorder of our history, a trusted and loyal clansman, and of course, a good friend, which he always was, and a most kind one. We will, of course, miss his companionship, but rather than regret that loss of knowledge which he had, much of which he has, of course, passed on to us, which we're most grateful for, but we should all strive to be as worthy and knowledgeable as he was, and to help and to keep this association going forward. Exactly 120 years ago today, Moy was heaving with festivities to celebrate the coming of age of my cousin, Angus, younger of Macintosh, whose story, of course, was sadly a tragic one. His road to becoming chief was stopped by World War I. But I have the booklet of the celebrations, which were very extensive, and among what is recorded in there, I thought I would perhaps borrow from one of the poems, fittingly a message to him sent from Canada. And I thought it might be nice to use some of those words that were written about Angus and to send them back to Canada tonight to remember our dear friend Rex. The original is in the Gaelic, and I'm afraid I can't manage that. But the translation, the words I've borrowed and ever so slightly adapted, run something like this. Our clansman is remembered today, a noble and spirited man, and the clan from surrounding glens gathers in joy to remember him. And in that same spirit, the clan, scattered far across the great oceans, with cheerful memories send joyful greetings to our dear friend. His kilt becomes him well, the Highland stockings and his peaked bonnet, as he travels across strath and hollow and climbs corrie, mountain and moor, following the emblem of the wildcat, leaping enthusiastically from its shield and banner. He will, now his time has come, keep our love through his kindness and understanding of us all. We remember him dearly, and of course, we send our love across the sea to Ruth as we remember him. So, as I mentioned earlier, as we think about those who have gone before us and their contributions to our Confederacy, constantly looking for new ways to invigorate our association, expand our membership globally, reaching to new and old contacts, we continue to spread our presence online from YouTube to the MAP project, which Rex took such a hand in, through our enhanced website, to currently the ways we look into our links with saving the wildcat, we constantly continue, like they did, to try and further this unique unity that we have in Clan Hatton. To further borrow from the words spoken 120 years ago, this time by my cousin, Angus McIntosh, as he reached 21. The hope that we shall always continue in the patriotism of clanship, what will always be our endeavour to maintain the traditions of the clan. No clan in the country is lucky to be so bound together as we are. And long may that continue to be so as the work of this association continues to progress. Thank you. And I'll now ask John, and can I of course welcome John McFall, very experienced, back to being the chairman. And of course we also have Jamie McPhail, vice chair, with us tonight. John.
No, thank you very much. I'm not going to go on for too long, so you'll be all happy to know that. Food will be up very shortly. Welcome, clansfolk and friends. I would just like to start by thanking the committee, the council, and our subcommittees for all the work they've done in the last 12 months. We've put extra pressure on them all in the last year to make sure that our next event, which is our 300th anniversary next year, is a big success. And so the subcommittee has been very hard at work, coming up with all sorts of ideas and big events for us to be able to celebrate next year. So I won't break that too much to you, because other people may want to say what that's going to happen, hopefully, this evening. But a big thank you to all of the council and subcommittee, because they have put a lot of work in, and of course they all do it voluntarily. Everyone comes and helps, and they have been amazing in the last 12 months, I have to say. It has been clear that we have to set ourselves an agenda going forward, and that is to encourage more and more family members to join us. We need younger people to come with us. I see other clan associations and I see how they operate, and they bring their families in from very young age all the way up, and then they take over and they become the association as such. We haven't done this for some time. We need to start doing it now. So if all of you have families, get them joined up, get them brought here. We want children to run round. We want them to be happy. We want them to play. This is your part to jump in here.
Engrossed.
Now she's crayoning. She's as bad as you. Plus the fact we also need a lot more locals. We have very few people who join us who live in Inverness. Very few. And we don't know why. But we need to publicise more and more in the local areas, so people of the names of all the clans come and join us who live locally, because there's a lot of them out there, and we need to attract them and help them, because we're putting forward their history of their families, and they need to be aware of it, and we need to update them, and they need to feel part of our big family. And that's another thing we have to push. So we've got 2 agenda items there that we have to deal with. One is attracting more and more young people, and we must put events on and things for them so they want to come and join us. And the other one is getting more locals involved. A lot of that is through publicity, our websites, Facebook pages, etc. But we must go forward with this. Otherwise, sadly, Carla will be sat here on her own in a few years' time, and we can't have that. So that's one big thing we have to tackle and deal with. The other one is I'd like to do a big thank you to Heidi in America, who's doing a lot of work for us and trying to associate us closer with the Saving Wildcats, which are our emblem. More work needs to be done there for them because they are few and far between now, and they are important to us. So Heidi is working on an association with them so that we can help and support them and publicise them, and hopefully we will attract them to come to our events so they can show us what they're doing and the good work that needs to be done going forward. Now, on top of that, I have very little else to say. So you'll be happy to know that is my report. The future is important. Thank you.
Thank you very much, John, and indeed some great targets there. And yes, do bring your families. They'll be more than welcome. And then to Margaret, the membership secretary's report.
Thank you, John. Good evening. It's lovely to be back here in Inverness and lovely to see so many friendly faces here with us this year. I've been looking back and realised that just about every year that I've been here, I have said it's been a really busy year. So I'm not going to say that this year because I've come to realise that every year's busy. It really is. So as far as the membership goes, we presently have a live membership of 404 people, which is slightly up from last year. But as has been highlighted previously, we have lost a few members and we have gained quite a few as well. So this year there were 93 renewal reminders sent out, and so far 75 people have renewed. So if you're one of those 75, thank you. If you're one of the 18 watching us online, or if you know someone who hasn't renewed, please give them a push. We've had 58 new members since our last AGM, which is higher than the previous year. As usual, most of these are from the USA. I'm not going to give you the numbers. If you want to know the exact numbers, come and speak to me. And then Scotland comes second, closely followed by England, Germany, Australia and Canada. And then we have one new member from each of Italy, New Zealand and the Netherlands. As usual, the highest number of new memberships have been annual, but for the first time that I've seen, there's been a big uptake in 5-year memberships. So it's been very, very close to the annual number. And the rest, which were 6, were life members. Now, one thing that I do say every year, and I probably will continue to do so, is this. Please, please, please let me know if you change your address or email address. It really helps for me to keep the records up to date. There's been a few magazines returned this year because it's the wrong address. And I've had a few people that I couldn't contact by email because they had forgotten to change their email address. I know moving house is very stressful with all of the people you need to keep informed, but please keep us on that list. This year, or from this year on, it's going to be even more important. As you'll have seen in the Touch Not magazine, we are moving to a digital magazine. So we need an up-to-date address. Either that or you'll miss out. And I have to say it's a very good magazine. Lots of interesting articles, but Donald will say more about the magazine later. So that's me. I said I would keep it short because I know my other half here probably won't keep his report short.
Thanks a lot, Margaret, and for keeping helping to organise it all. And I know you sometimes have difficulties with computers or things, so thanks a lot for all you do.
Thank you.
And working through that. And over to Alan, the treasurer.
Good evening. Well, as ever, we now enter the dry portion of the day. I'm not going to go through the balance sheet line by line, you'll be glad to hear, and I'll try not to drown you in numbers. However, in putting together this year's income and expenditure sheet, I found myself in an extremely concerning position. It came out penny perfect on the first run through. This is unprecedented. I was so concerned I went through it again several times. I found an error of 9 pence on the 5th run through. It was accounted for in my spreadsheet, but I found I hadn't broken it out in the balance sheet. So I was happy. As was our examiner of books. She was very happy. So, on to the meat of my report, which covers from the 1st of May 2025 to the 30th of April 2026. As Margaret mentioned, subscriptions are up in the last year, £4,374 this year compared to £3,802 last year. Sales, on the other hand, are down to £760 from £1,025.50. Receipts from the 2025 AGM were down compared to 2024, and no prepayments for 2026 had been received by the end of the accounts period for 25-26. Donations were down considerably on last year, and if you're following the expenses and income and expenditures to this point, you can see the 9p error broken out there for your attention. PayPal fees were down, as were refunds that had to be made, mainly due to members having selected new membership instead of renewal membership. Please be aware that if you select new membership and you're renewing, £10 is automatically added for postage for your member pack. So do remember to select renewal, please. Total income for the year is approximately £600 down on last year at £6,068.25. Moving on to expenditure now. Total costs for TouchNot went up marginally, which is a minor miracle, but I'll leave Donald to expand on that. Administrative expenses are down, even taking into account the bank charges introduced in March 2025. Much increased postage costs and the purchase of the new 1st and 5-year membership certificates helped by reduced website costs and not having to purchase new stock or stationery, totaling an expenses of £1,160.09, down from £3,840.63. AGM costs for 2025 were £1,414 compared to £2,413.79 for 2024. Please note the placeholder for next year's Cayley expenses. You have been warned. Costs for MOI are just marginally down on last year, and other expenses were down, as were expenses for attendance at events on behalf of the association. Although you'll see two wreaths being put through next year. Someone was late putting in the receipt, no names mentioned. Finally, on this sheet, the AHSC membership fees that you'll see there cover both last year and this year, as we didn't receive the notification until the new financial year had started last year. And software subscriptions didn't change, but they will be increased next year. Total expenditure was £9,220.69, which is down £4,002.73. The deficit for the year was £3,152.44, which is also down on last year's £6,475.39, but our accumulated deficit is now £11,257.36. We have plans in place to do something about that, but they have not yet come to fruition. And if we'll now turn over the sheet onto the balance sheet, you will see that the Australian funds have still not been transferred to the UK account. Rob McIntosh and I are still working on this, but we are hitting issues with the Australian bank trying to get the money transferred. We're actively working on it and we'll get it dealt with as soon as possible. Total net assets for this year, taking the accumulated deficit into account, £29,060.51. As usual, if there are any questions, I'll be delighted to go through the year's transactions in excruciating detail. And that is the end of my report, you'll be pleased to know.
Thanks very much for that, and I don't think it was dry at all. I watched them. They were all following you line by line. So well done. So thanks for that, and over to Touch Not, Donald.
Right. I'm going to use this lectern. We have it, so I'm going to use it. So hello everyone. It's good to see you all here, and thank you very much for attending this AGM. So, Touch Not, from those members that sent in feedback, told me how they enjoyed the magazine, I'm very pleased to say they were all very positive. I had a good response again from most of the constituent clans, and I would like to mention one clan in particular, the McQueens. Last year, at this time, I happened to mention that the McQueens were not forthcoming with news of what may be going on in the clan. I also mentioned, by the way, the McGillibrays and the McIntyre. Clan McQueen has no chief, but there are enthusiastic people out there, especially in the States, United States. With the help of other Clan Hatton members, the Clan McQueen Society was formed in 2024, and it appears to be thriving well. So I want to thank Tim and Victoria Elgin in North Carolina for sending the article. Now the article, please revisit it. It's page 14 of this year's magazine. Now I hope to hear
how the society is progressing, and I may have something, or I hope to have something to share with you all next year. So I don't think there is a Clan McQueen Society here in the UK. Thanks go to Ray McHatton in New England and Diana De Bruin in the Southern States for all their contributions from games they attended. And to Cindy, at the back there, and Ken for representing CCA at some of the games in the United States. Now, Touch Not 2027. Two significant points to emphasize here. Firstly, I plan to have a piece highlighting the 300th anniversary of this association. 1727, that's when the first association started. The second in Glasgow in 1893. And the third and current one was formed in 1933 in London. Now, I come to probably the biggest change in thinking and direction of how we send out our magazine to the members. Margaret alluded to this, and so did Alan earlier on. The journals and magazines have always been posted out in a timely fashion, and the cost has just been part of that process and accepted. Over the last few years, however, postage charges around the world have been increasing year on year, and it has now reached a critical point. It is now not sustainable. The cost of postage is now considerably more than the cost of production. So Touch Not is going digital. Next year in March, the magazine will be sent out by email to all the members. And that is why it's very important that we should have email details from all our members. Again, Margaret mentioned that earlier on. We seem to be very slow in getting all the emails from members, and I'm hoping that is going to increase. We will or may have to send out a hard copy to some, but we want to minimize that option. We have an obligation at present to send hard copies to the following institutions. It's quite a list. You may be surprised. The Court of the Lord Lion, Inverness Public Library, the National Library of Scotland, Legal Deposit Office of the British Library, Highland Archives, the School of Scottish Studies, and the Mitchell Library, which is in Glasgow. It's quite a list. I will be establishing soon if digital copies will suffice in any of these places. So any printing of magazines will become a short run or small batch. And there may be a change in overall finish, i.e. weight of paper, cover thickness, but I personally will not want the magazine to have an adverse drop in quality. Other options will to be put the magazine onto the members page and off the website. Finally, thanks to Denise for typing faster than I can. To Alison at Colour Key for producing a very fine magazine. And my usual plea, which never varies, every year I ask members to send in something to me. Without these articles, there would be no magazine. So send me something, an article, large or small, a photo, comments on what I can do, what additions I can make to ensure Touch Not flourishes and becomes even better. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Donald. I think all of us always agree that Touch Not, you've done great work to keep it going and bring it to the heights it is. And I think it's excellent that you make sure all the clans are represented as far as you can.
Nearly a full house. Nearly.
So thanks a lot. And,
Thank
you know, we all look forward to the digital version
Yes.
next year. And over to Anne, who will bring you all the exciting news that was hinted at earlier.
I'm standing up here as well. So let me first of all start by thanking Denise so much for all she's done over the last number of years. Since, well, over 17 years, I believe, at least. But she has done it by herself. So when she said she wanted to take a back step, not too much of a back step, thankfully, we decided that, you know, one person can't replace Denise. So we have a whole team now. So this is really good. So Denise is on the team too. She had to be there because I need to question her all the time. So if those of you who are on the team want to quickly stand up when I say your names that are here. 2 are not here. Heidi's not here, and Ian Shaw. But thanks to them as well. So Robin, yep. Ron Toms, Jamie McPhail is here as well. Excellent. And my granddaughter Rachel Wood, and of course Denise, and myself, and Cindy is coming on as well. So that's great. So thank you very much. Now we're all in different parts of the world, and although myself and Rachel are here and Robin, so that's really good as well. Denise is not quite so far away. At least she's Scotland. So I'm actually going to get Denise to work now, and she's going to give a report of the last part of the year before I mention what's happening this year. Thanks, Denise.
We have to use the lectern, don't we? However, before we start, my husband said tonight, "Oh, you've dressed down a bit," and I said, "No, I have actually dressed up because this T-shirt is our brand new T-shirt. It has, of course, our wonderful Touch Not cat and our coat of arms on the arm here, and of course, the scratches." So, and they're £25, so everybody's got to buy one. Okay, as usual, it's wonderful to see everybody here. I absolutely love it. Last year, of course, those of you who came to Moy the week before the actual fair started, there were storms. And sadly, on the Friday, the storms were so bad that the fair committee had to make an announcement and close the fair, and it did not reopen the next day on the Saturday. This was devastating, not just for us, because we wanted everybody to come and enjoy themselves, but for the other stall holders and exactly for the fair themselves. The organisers spent many sleepless nights waiting to see if they would get enough funding to reopen this year. And at the last minute, they were guaranteed funding and have been able to open again this year. So I hope you will all come and support them. Now, during this year, Donald and I have attended a couple of ceremonies, in particular the Culloden Memorial, which is held in April. Now, I've probably told everybody this sort of thing every single year, but it is an amazing sight when you see all those fantastic banners, the colours, the costumes, everybody that comes. It's incredible. And this year, John laid the wreath for us, and Craig is there somewhere. Craig McIntosh carried John's banner. Hundreds of people. It was just wonderful. The other event was, in fact, at the Inverness Highland Games. Very wet. The Association of Highland Clans and Societies, together with the Highland Council, arranged the clan tent for the Games. And a huge thank you to Ross McEwen, who's the Secretary of the AHCS, for keeping us all in order. And the Chairman, AHCS, Alan, where are you? I can't see you. There you are. Alan McLean of Dockyard was there with his wife Anne. They are right at the front door, welcoming all the visitors to the tent. It is a great time for us all to chat to visitors from all over the world. And I think it was a record count, I believe, this year of people coming into the tent at the Games. At our table, there was Donald and myself, and John and Vanessa and Kyla. And it was so busy that at one point, I think all of us, probably including Kyla, were talking to visitors. It was so busy. So a huge thank you to their invaluable help on the day. Our attendance at these events gives us a chance to up the profile of the Clan Hatton Association, to inform people of our history and the aims of the association in encouraging kinship with the clans and septs of the Clan Hatton, and to extend knowledge of the clan and the association throughout the world. Thank you very much.
So here we are at the 2026 AGM, and I hope you can enjoy your meal following this as well. I'll try and be brief. So some of us, well, most of us, unfortunately not me, will be in the clan tent at Moy tomorrow. This is the first one I'm missing in 44 years that I've been involved in Moy, because I've got a wedding in North Uist, Margin. But so you'll be joined in the clan tent by Alistair, who will be taking over from myself as family historian in the Highland Archive Centre when I have handed my notice in. I finish in December. I wonder what else I can do. Anyway, and Nick Hyde is going to be here with a Clan Davidson table as well in Moy tent as well. Thank you, Nick, as well. So that's great. It's wonderful as well. We have Cindy, of course, and we have Craig with the pipes. And we're just wondering if as many of you as possible can actually meet at the clan tent at 12:15 tomorrow, because they're going to march with banners, etc. To the ring where John is going to open it up as usual. But it'll be good to have as many as possible doing that. Well, just on cue, we have the pipes playing, and it's not Craig and it's not Cindy. So, and at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we're going to have Paul MacDonald, who will do a short talk and a sword demonstration. So I think younger generation will enjoy that. Yes, certainly my grandson, as soon as he heard him, well, he's going to be there. But at this point, just I know time is running out, but I just want to share some of our plans for next year, because we discovered that the very first Clan Hutton Association began 300 years ago in 1727. Well, what an opportunity. Do we need a reason for a party? Well, it's good to have one, isn't it, that we can really celebrate. But so we're going to mark the occasion, and we're going to give you a list of suggested venues and events that you can go to during the week, but we are going to organise quite a few of them, commencing with registration on Tuesday afternoon of the 3rd of August 2027, and that will be in the Trinity Life Hub in Huntley Street, where we can all enjoy haggis, neeps and tatties, along with many desserts, tea and coffee, and there will be some surprises in store for you there as well. I'm not telling you everything tonight. But on Wednesday the 4th, the Highland Archives Centre, which is usually closed on a Wednesday, will be opened especially for the Clan Hutton Association, because they will be able to view many original documents that will be there pertaining to the clan and various other certain clan names as well. Now, later that day, this is a big event as well, we're going to get you to all meet up at Inverness Castle. Inverness Castle is one of the venues, if you haven't been, to go and visit at some point. But we're going to march down, more pipes involved here, march down with more banners as well, to the town house with all the pipes and banners. And because we have been invited to mark the occasion by the Provost of Inverness with a civic reception. So numbers will be curtailed for that, so book now, is what I can say. The following day, of course, we'll have our AGM here, as in Kingsmills as usual, but a much grander dinner will be followed by a ceilidh, where we've managed to procure Callum MacPhail and the Highland Fire Ceilidh Band. And as soon as my family heard that, they said, we're all coming, because they follow Callum MacPhail very much so. He's very well known up here. And of course, we'll have Moy Country Fair on the Friday and Saturday. But there's going to be lots more events. And of course, we tie in with Clan Macpherson next year, so that's wonderful. We have had lots of people expressing an interest for next year. So that's why I'm saying, please, you can give me your names tonight. And can I just say, one person who has said he wants to come for the week is the Lord Lion himself. So come and give me your names and emails if you want to say I'm coming, and we will email you as soon as we get everything out on the website where you can pay. But the civic reception is the one we need to have numbers, a specific number. So I do need to know. So keep an eye on our social media, etc. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to Anne, Denise and team. Great work that's been done, great events, and we look forward to what's coming. And the good news is they said that the speeches in the town hall are limited to 5 minutes. So, so we'll now come to election of council members. So this year there are 6 names. I'll just very quickly run through them. Anne Macquarie, Augusta MacLean of Dochgarroch, Ian McGillivray, Robin Toms, Alan McBain, and Alistair McIntosh, unless someone is going to suddenly step up now. Any volunteers? You can tell them. So I'll just take these one by one, if I can just have a proposer and a seconder. Anne Macquarie. Denise, are you recording? Augusta MacLean of Dochgarroch.
Could I just say, that's not a name.
Thank you,
Simpson.
Augusta
McLean Simpson.
McLean Simpson. Thank you. We'll correct that.
Yeah.
Nick and seconder.
Louisa. Yeah.
Ian McGillivray. Murray, seconder. Nick. Robin Toms. Alan. John.
Which Alan?
McBean.
Alan McBain.
Hmm.
And Alistair McIntosh. Proposer.
I think he'll. Yes, I'll propose him for another year.
Right.
I'll second it.
Seconded. Okay.
I'll find out.
That. Oh, about.
We need him.
My apologies. Sorry, Alan. Alan McBain, proposer. Seconder. John.
Can't lose him. He's got a lot of money.
Okay. Thank you to them all. I know they've all put in a lot of good work to, help us make this such a fantastic association, and we look forward to all they'll do. Just before, are there any other nominations? Anyone else that would like to stand? I did ask a replacement for Alistair, but is there anyone else who would like to stand for council? Kyla?
No! I don't want to.
Okay.
I'm just playing with my hair.
Well done.
Just like a dad.
At least I still have some.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. You just told the world now.
Any other council business that anyone would like to raise? You're all eager for dinner, clearly.
I want dinner.
Item number, yes? Yes. There we are.
It's my pleasure to give a vote of thanks to John as our president and chairing the meeting. I'm chairman of the Association of Highland Clans and Societies. We have about 32 clans, and so I've had an overall view of different clans. And I can tell you that we're very lucky in the Clan Chattan to have John as our president. And insofar from the point of view of the Association of Highland Clans, he is, I think, unique amongst the clans in coming every year to the Inverness clan tent. Some chiefs, like this here, come because there's a very posh lunch that the provost puts on. But John comes whether or not, and he wasn't invited to the lunch. And it's very good that he supports us in such a way. As I say, there are very few clans that have the support of their chief in this way. So please would you join in thanking him for chairing the meeting.
Thank you very much, Alan. And just before I close the meeting, I'll just say I am going to test the bounds of our ancient clan alliances, because myself, Vanessa and Kyla have spent some afternoons in the last year hunting out the wildcats down at Newton Moor. And we've managed to hit out of 132, I think it is, and we've only got 18 left. And I know you're probably not meant to do this, but we probably are going to prey on any, especially McPherson's down in Newton Moore, Murray, and Joyce. You're marked, just to see if we can get any tips on where to find the last 18. Even though, dare I say, Kyla has decided you win a little toy wildcat and get to put a name on it.
Yeah,
So
I'm
if
going to call it Macintosh.
and that's what she wants to call it.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, thank you very much. Enjoy this evening and enjoy your time at Moy. I hope to see you all there. Thank you.